Alright, picture this. You're at work and yet again, something blows up. A machine breaks, a client's order gets botched, someone fat-fingered a number in Excel. You and the team rush in like firefighters, patch the hole, high-five each other, and then 2 days later, boom, another fire. Same cycle, different day. Exhausting, right? That's basically the hamster wheel of business most companies live on. Forrest W. Breyfogle III says, "Stop running on the wheel and fix the cage itself." His book, Implementing Six Sigma, is like the IKEA manual for your entire business system, except this one actually makes sense if you follow it. So, what's the big idea? First, stop measuring success in dumb ways. Most companies love to calculate cost of poor quality. You know, how much money they lose fixing mistakes after they happen. But Breyfogle flips the script. What about the cost of doing nothing? The money you're literally burning by accepting inefficiency as just how it is. Spoiler, that hidden cost iceberg is way bigger than the tiny visible part of screw-ups you're currently tracking. Now, once you accept that your business is leaking money like a cracked bucket, it's time to zoom out and get a new perspective. Enter the Integrated Enterprise Excellence Framework, or IEE. Think of it as 3 camera drones flying at different altitudes. The satellite level, this is your big picture. Profit, ROI, market share. Stuff investors drool over, but you don't check it every week like Instagram notifications. You track it over years to see long-term trends. Then you drop to the 30,000-foot level. Here you're looking at key processes, cycle times, delivery speeds, customer wait times. You use control charts to figure out which processes are stable and which are acting like a drunk uncle at Christmas dinner. And finally, the ground level. That's where you collect real-world data. But here's the catch. If your data system sucks, your whole improvement project is doomed. Garbage in, garbage out. This brings us to a crucial lesson. Stop reacting to every wiggle in the numbers. Imagine a factory manager sees one reading outside the line and yells at Joe to tweak a machine. Then 2 hours later, Mary's tweaking it the other way. Meanwhile, the process was totally fine. They were just reacting to noise. It's like changing your whole diet because the scale went up half a kilo after you ate pizza last night. Common cause variation, my friends. Learn the difference between noise and signal, or you'll just keep chasing ghosts. And hey, if you're chasing ghosts anyway, hit subscribe to this channel. Because unlike your last process improvement project, this one actually leads somewhere. Okay, back to Breyfogle. Once you've got decent data, you use DMAIC. That's define, measure, analyze, improve, control. Think of it like Google Maps for problem solving. Start with the destination, check where you are, figure out what's slowing you down, test different routes, and then lock in the best one so you don't get lost again. Define is where you build a project charter. A fancy way of saying, write down what the hell we're doing and why. Measure is where you map out the current mess and make sure your data isn't lying. Analyze is CSI Business Edition. You sift through suspects and find the true culprit, not just the one everyone points fingers at. Improve is where the fun happens. You actually test solutions, using a tool called Design of Experiments. More on that in a second. Control is when you make sure the improvements don't vanish the second your back is turned. Now, let's talk DOE, Design of Experiments. This is like speed dating for problem solving. Instead of testing one variable at a time, like, let's change the oven temp, but keep everything else the same, DOE throws combinations at the wall to see what really sticks. Because sometimes the magic isn't in one thing, it's in the combo. High oven temp and more additive, boom, way better than either alone. Do saves time, money, and reveals the juicy interactions you'd never spot otherwise. And this doesn't just work in factories. A school district could use DOE to figure out how to reduce absenteeism, test parent callbacks, test different days of the week, test schools with good versus bad attendance. Maybe you discover callbacks are useless on Mondays, but gold on Fridays. That's a surgical strike instead of shotgun guesswork. Alright, so once you've got the tools, The next step is culture. Implementing Six Sigma isn't just about running a few projects, it's about embedding structured thinking into the DNA of your company. That's where Lean comes in too. Lean strips out waste, Six Sigma reduces variation, and the IEE framework tells you which tool to grab. Slow but consistent process? Use Lean. Fast but chaotic? That's Six Sigma's turf. And then there's Design for Six Sigma, or DFSS. Think of DMAIC as fixing your old Toyota Corolla. DFSS is designing a Tesla that doesn't need fixing in the first place. It's about building new products and services with quality baked in, not bolted on after launch. The end game? A learning organization. Instead of managers asking, "Why didn't you hit target this month?" they're asking, "What's the status of the improvement project?" Instead of rewarding firefighters, you reward fire prevention. You move from survival mode to building a system that continuously improves itself. So, to recap, implementing Six Sigma is about shifting from firefighting to system fixing. You measure smarter, separate signal from noise, follow the DMAIC roadmap, unleash DOE, combine Six Sigma with Lean, and eventually graduate to designing perfection from scratch. The payoff? A business that's not just surviving today's chaos but actually improving for tomorrow. If that doesn't sound sexy, I don't know what does. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Because in a world full of noise, this channel is the signal.